Will the 49ers sign an offensive lineman who's a familiar face and was just let go by the Houston Texans today? We have some Niners injury news to get into, some positive offensive trends that we have to highlight during this Niners 3-game winning streak. Steve Young saying today the Niners are a dangerous team if they get into the playoffs, and Robert Saleh getting some national respect. It's all coming your way on today's show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Thanks for hanging out. So let's begin here with topic number one. This news just coming across the wire a little while ago here on this Tuesday afternoon on this December 2nd. Adam Schefter breaking the news that the Texans waived veteran offensive guard Laken Tomlinson. The team and Tomlinson were said to come to that decision today, and he will now go on waivers. So obviously, he has to go through waivers. If the Niners are interested in bringing him in, he would have to fall to them on that waiver claim list. But if that were to happen, this is a move that I think would make a lot of sense for the 49ers, given where they are along the offensive line. And I'll also say this offensive line, it hasn't been great this year. But during this 3-game winning streak, it's gotten better. But against Cleveland, an injury happened along the offensive line, which does hurt the Niners' depth. And at left guard, they've been going with this rotation of Spencer Burford and Ben Bartch. Ben Bartch has been an off-injured player all throughout his career. Well, he's hurt again because against the Browns, he suffered a Liz Frank injury to his foot, might need to get surgery. He's going on injured reserve, might be lost for the year. And so now that left guard rotation goes to a full-time spot for Spencer Burford. But that impacts your depth, which is what makes Tomlinson interesting here as a potential pickup for San Francisco. The other notable injury for the Niners coming out of that Browns game, Kyle Jusczyk has a ribs fracture. The Niners do have a bye week this week, so we'll see how he fares with an extra week of rest. And I do think that the Niners could stand to bulk up their offensive line. You think about the other option at that left guard spot, it would be Connor Colby, who to start this season, once Bartch got hurt and Spencer Burford was also hurt, really struggled. And so while Tomlinson makes some sense, he's played well for the Niners before. He knows Kyle Shanahan's scheme. The Niners are in need of a depth piece. I don't think that you can go back to Connor Colby. At least I wouldn't like to. At some point, might he become a good player? Yeah, but I think Tomlinson is better right now, as we've seen with Bartch and Burford just being veterans who are better in the present moment. And Tomlinson's not going to cost you anything. The Niners have cap space to begin with, but they're obviously not trying to break the bank, and Tomlinson won't do that. And if he plays well, you can continue to have him in the mix if you want to sign him beyond this year after the season. Now, Tomlinson started his career with the Detroit Lions, was a high draft pick, didn't really work out with Detroit. He's with the Niners from 2017 to 2021. There were ups and downs, but certainly in that contract year in 2021, I thought he played really well at that left guard spot. And because of that, he then got paid by the New York Jets. Robert Saleh, familiar with him there. And he was with the Jets only for 2022 and 2023. Didn't play well, didn't really live up to the contract. He was with the Seattle Seahawks last year, struggled, and then went to the Houston Texans to team up with D'Amico Ryans, and more struggles. As we've seen, though, with a player like Clelin Ferrell, sometimes players just play well with an organization they're familiar with and with a team where it's worked out previously. Ferrell's playing maybe the best football of his career. He was good with the Niners in 2023. Tomlinson, good with San Francisco after he wasn't good with Detroit. Bring him back maybe in a situation where there's some familiarity. He could play well for the Niners if he's thrust into a role. In 2025, 7 starts, 10 games for Houston, overall PFF grade of 56.1. That ranked 51st among 79 interior offensive linemen. Pass blocking grade 55.4, that ranks 61st. Run blocking grade 57.3, 46th. So the grades there, not great according to PFF. Gave up 3 sacks, that was 61st at the position. 3 hits, 11 pressures on 284 snaps. But again, the scheme continuity and familiarity could help Tomlinson if the Niners were to sign him. So what say you? Should the Niners bring back Laken Tomlinson? Let me know down in the comment section. Let your voices be heard as always. Type S for sign or P for pass. As we know, 49ers are rolling right now. And once they come out of the bye, this stretch run is going to be epic. It's going to be so much fun. Tennessee Titans, then the Niners play the Colts, the Bears, and the Seahawks. Those are all going to be playoff-level games that have a playoff type of feel. And during this 3-game winning streak for the Niners, this offense has done what it's needed to do. Carry this team and let this young defense that is very injured catch up and grow up. And you think about this 3-game winning streak for the Niners. Brock Purdy comes back. They hang 41 points on Arizona. Purdy had 3 touchdowns in that game. He was very efficient. Against Carolina on Monday Night Football, a team with an above 500 record that just pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the season, taking down the Rams as 10-point underdogs. The Niners won 20-9. And you might say, Chase, they only scored 20 points. They covered a touchdown spread. The defense was really good. And despite 3 first-half Brock Purdy picks, they still were able to manage 20 points in that game. Kind of impressive if you ask me. And then against the Cleveland Browns, cold, windy, going up against an elite defense, going up against a defensive coordinator in Jim Schwartz, who Kyle Shanahan was 1-8 against prior to that game. The Niners are very opportunistic on Sunday, and they scored 26 points against that really good Cleveland Browns defense. And you've seen some of the marquee players play well during this winning streak. Purdy against Cleveland, against Arizona. Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, getting it done. This offensive line making some slight improvements. And during this 3-game stretch, when you look at some of the analytical numbers here, the Niners second in third down conversion rate. I don't really look at that as an analytical number. It's just kind of a standard stat. But in success rate, they are number 4 despite a lack of explosive plays. And their expected points added per play, EPA per play for short, they're number 8. So this offense has gotten rolling a little bit, and they've been really efficient. And if Brock Purdy can avoid some of the bad turnovers, it's really going to serve this Niners offense well, as we saw on Sunday against Cleveland. Still to come here on the show, Steve Young thinks the Niners are dangerous. I agree. Yesterday I said, why not San Francisco? Why can't they contend in the NFC? And Robert Saleh getting some respect. But let's get to our sponsor, our friends at Brunt, making today's San Francisco 49ers report possible. I absolutely love their work boots. And look, I might talk about football for a living in front of a camera, but I have some side hobbies, some side passions. Woodworking, power washing. I like hard, tough jobs. But the thing with work boots is sometimes if they're uncomfortable, they make long days even harder. So with Brunt, that's not the case. Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Brunt thought that was BS. They built tough boots that feel great from day one. No break-in, no sore feet, because people out there doing the real work shouldn't have to choose between comfort or durability. These are no doubt the most comfortable work boots that I've ever worn, and they felt comfortable right out of the box. No long, painful break-in like all those other brands. And they're not just comfortable. They're built to perform. So if you're looking for the perfect gift for a hardworking man in your life, yourself, get him or yourself something from Brunt. Their boots and apparel, something that Hill or yourself will actually use. And they're going to keep you comfortable all day on the job. Plus, Brunt stands behind what they make. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. It's a no-risk gift. They also have resistant jackets, full range of high-performance gear for tough jobs, hoodies. It's awesome. And they design durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. So, with temperatures dropping, holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts that somebody's never going to use. Get them something that's built to last. Brunt Workwear. Our listeners get $10 off their entire order when you use the code CHAT at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com/chat. Use that code CHAT. Order today. Let them know that you heard about them from this show, and we appreciate your support. All right. Steve Young on the Dan Patrick Show today saying if the Niners get into the playoffs, nobody wants to play San Francisco. And really, There are two kind of sneaky teams who I think fit that billing right now because of where they are seated and their ability to pull off an upset. Niners and the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams are hot. Both teams are dangerous. And some of the higher seeds are like, man, we don't want to play the Niners. We don't want to play the Cowboys right now. And you look at the NFC playoff picture going into week 14, bye week here again for San Francisco. Bears, the number 1 seed, who thought that was coming? The Rams dropped down to the number 2 seed after losing to the Panthers. Eagles free falling right now, number 3 seed at 8-4. The Bucs 7-5, clinging to the lead in the NFC South. And then the 3 wildcard teams: Seahawks, Packers, Niners. Other teams in the mix: Detroit 7-5, Dallas 6-5-1. Those 2 teams will meet on Thursday Night Football. Here's what Steve Young said about this Niners team. How well are they coached to lose all their stars on defense? They have people out most of the year on offense, and all of a sudden, Mac Jones is a guy that everybody wants in the league, just like Sam Darnold was. Let's just tip our cap to the coaching, number 1, and let's tip our cap to the culture of the place, locker room, the leadership. Obviously, they've got guys in the room that pull things together, and so how good are they? Good enough to threaten and make people, you talk about a tough out, that's the Niners. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. I think you can almost count on that. And so who wants to play the Niners? Nobody. So for where they are with the personnel and what's happened, it's pretty remarkable. I think we've got to tip our cap to really everyone in the organization right now to be 9-4. Steve, I hear you. You're echoing what I have been saying for weeks and months at this point. What a job Kyle Shanahan and the players are doing. What an organizational win and effort from this organization to be 9-4. You might say cupcake schedule. They have some really quality wins, and they have persevered and remained a playoff level team despite all of that, when a lot of other teams would fold. As for Robert Saleh, kind of like what Steve Young said, and I said this a while ago, I think he's been arguably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL this year when you factor in him making chicken salad out of chicken shit and dealing with injuries to the likes of Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and injuries all over the place. We love Baldy here on this show. Here's what Baldy said about Saleh. Considering the talent level, a lot of these guys like Cleveland Ferrell, Keon White, and Curtis Robinson as the third-team Mike linebacker, considering where they're at in the depth department, you could say that Robert Saleh is the assistant coach of the year. I think he is, because this defense, especially during this 3-game winning streak, has grown up. It's improved. They've gotten better. And this defense, in a couple of key areas, points per game, red zone, they've been able to perform pretty well and keep this team's head above water, in addition to what the offense and special teams have been able to do. What a fun season for the Niners. It's a gritty bunch and a tough bunch. Don't forget to give me a follow on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Chase_Senior. Just launched that TikTok there, so give me a shout and check out some more free content over there.